That's you! Guess who just got back to deal? Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly, the weekly half-hour show with Ben and a special guest this week.
Oh, hello.
That's my friend Bill. Bill, introduce yourself to the masses.
Hello, avid anti-disestablishmentarianism nightly listeners. This is Bill Hanchy.
The Banshee.
Ah!
Hit me with another Banshee call real quick.
Ah! Ah!
That's sweet. Do you know what bird that's supposed to be?
It is actually taken from that call of that of a peacock.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of the style I attribute most of my sense of style to.
I'll give that to you.
A peacock.
Very flamboyant person you are. But I guess we'll just go right into why the fuck are you here?
Well, I was told that I'd be able to get some sponsorships for. I don't even know. You know what?
It's all right. It's because I asked you to be here because you're one of my closest, dearest, brotherly friends, and I just wanted to capture your voice a little bit. So then, when you're gone, I can listen to this.
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot, jerk.
Hey, man, you've listened to the show. No, why don't you give us right? Just laugh away. We're having a good time. But why don't you tell us just a little bit about yourself, what you're doing, your studies, and just to kind of wrap if you could give us a little synopsis of Bill.
If you want a neat little package, you've come to the wrong station because that's just not how we do things around here at Anti-Dis. Well, a little bit about myself. As you said, we are dear friends. Met back freshman year of high school, inside a foods class, where we formed a bond, the likes of which are pretty hard to come by, especially in a foods class of high school.
And since then, it has never been seen. Well, probably other people have been friends from high school, but
we've got what we call the B&B connection, and yes, ladies, it's exactly what it sounds like. But I'm here today. In my hometown area, the suburbs of Chicago, after spending the summer all over the great state of Oklahoma.
Oh, you just came back Oklahoma way, huh?
Oh, spent a little time down Oklahoma way.
Yee-hee! Why don't you tell us about your travels? What brought you there, dude? What are you into?
Well, I'm into trees. That's the most simplest way to put it. I'm all about them trees.
All about them.
And as a forestry major from the accredited Southern Illinois University, I was offered the opportunity upon applying and interviewing for the position in Oklahoma Forestry Services as a summer intern.
Let me brag for Bill a little bit here. He got a very, very special internship where he had to beat out other people, and he was chosen. So I'm glad that he worked his way through the ranks and proved himself to enjoy that.
I really did. And yeah, I spent the summer out Oklahoma way, which, for those of you who have never been, it is more than the Dust Bowl and the Grapes of Wrath.
Both those references are lost on me. I'm a literary moron.
Well, if you're a fan of Roger and Hammerstein's Oklahoma, the musical, it's not a lot like that either.
Oh, Oklahoma, where there's something else. Right?
It's where the wind comes sweeping down the plains.
Is that a stately saying of Oklahoma?
They don't really care for the constant references to the musical because that's just not the way life is.
Not like Chicago at all.
No, it was probably nothing. I'd say nothing like Chicago.
Very rural.
Didn't know I was a city mouse until you took this mouse out into the country. And
you missed the lights.
I missed the people.
Yeah,
missed the population, the horns of cars, the trains of bells.
It's weird how you don't think you would ever miss something like that, but it makes a difference in day-to-day life, just aesthetically, I guess.
Yes.
Well, what were you doing out there, man?
Oh, a gaggle of things. Quite literally a gaggle.
Like geese?
Yes. Which I didn't see much of, but they do have roadrunners, which
Whoa.
I usually had the windows open and the radio on, but I could have swear I heard them go, meep, meep.
I could have swear.
I could have sworn.
Mip, mip.
But yeah, I've, golly, I did a whole bunch of different things. Worked with urban foresters in Oklahoma City. Spent time on a pecan farm and saw pretty much, in a nutshell, what they do on one of those things.
Puns!
I'm still making myself laugh on that one, Benny.
What am I doing? Reaching? Reaching?
Oh, I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You got it.
Did I reach? Okay.
It's a joke.
And, worked with a couple of the other interns out of Oklahoma State University. Real couple of class acts. Giving them a little shout out, JT Allen and Becca Bixant, if you're listening. I only like one of you.
JT Allen, Becca, it's up to you to decide.
I'm pretty sure they know.
Okay.
Seriously, you fucking suck.
I don't know you, but fuck you.
No, we like to have fun. We like to have fun.
God damn.
Yeah.
Well, what was your day-to-day like out there?
Day-to-day was always something different. Whether it was cruising timber, working at the nursery, using the irrigation systems and counting their loblolly survival of the seedlings. I got a tour of pretty much the whole state, so it was an all-encompassing internship of what a state organization does.
Sweet. You dealt with fire?
I was on a wildfire, yes, a small one, very small, nothing compared to the stuff that's going on out west, and that happens yearly, but I had the get-up and carried around a Pulaski. For those of you who don't know, a Pulaski is a sort of like a ditch-digging, firefighting tool.
Well, how does the ditch... Is it like it creates a draft or something like that?
Well, it's not actually a ditch. You just expose the mineral soil, and it cuts off all the fuel for the fire.
Okay. So it was like a controlled fire then?
No, it was wild. It was wild AF.
Wild AF. Capital.
AF, yeah. Luckily, the great folks over at Oklahoma Forestry Services were right on it, made it a minimal loss to the plantation of 5-year-old trees.
How long did it take to contain that mofo?
We were on that for about, I'd say about 9 hours.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. You don't get too many of those up in Minnesota or Wisconsin way.
Oh, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl, remember that time you found Carol in a barrel?
Oh, Cheryl. It seems like every Tuesday.
Oh, that's what I heard. That Carol's sterile.
So what was your favorite part of your trip, Bill?
I have to say, between working in Oklahoma City with the urban forester and kind of seeing what goes into that, not just the day-to-day, but kind of the long-term projects, it was very eye-opening. A lot of stuff that I've learned about in school kind of being shown right in front of me. Mm-hmm. And for those of you unaware of the memorial that they have in Oklahoma City to memorialize the Oklahoma City bombing, there was a lone tree that in the blast radius that survived, and the entire city and a lot of the world has sort of gathered around this the spirit and the sign of what that tree represents. It's
a site of inspiration.
It is, and it was really, when you look into being a forester, one tree is kind of, depending on how you look at things, if you're harvesting timber, one tree's not as valuable to you, but for one tree to represent everything that it represented to that city, it was pretty awe-inspiring. And to hear about all the work that went into ensuring the survival of that tree for years and years to come.
Mm-hmm. One of the quotes I remember, you made a Facebook status about this, and it kind of stuck with me, about how the tree represented the indomitable human spirit in some ways. So
it did as the memorial to the on the other side of where the tree is, has a field of seats that represent the 168 people who lost their lives. So there's 168 benches there. And there's a large wall that has the time of 9:02 on it, which was the time of the bombing on, I forget exactly the date. And then on the other side of the memorial, there's a wall that has the time of 9:03 etched into it, or kind of into the structure, because that's when this city started rebuilding. Minute after it happened.
That moment.
It was very sobering. I was born in 1990, wasn't really exposed to the Oklahoma City bombing, so...
When did that happen? 94?
95.
95.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's crazy to think. I'm just thinking of all the media that's in my head, and it's like, I know who did it, but I don't know any of the victims.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the media in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, and seven people from the Department of Agriculture, which is, pardon the pun, one of the branches from where the Forestry Department comes from. 7 people from the Agriculture Department lost their lives as well. So there's a memorial in front of their agriculture building as well, with the redbud trees, which is the state tree of Oklahoma. Also has beautiful flowering tree and nice foliage in the fall. So, you know, it was really great to be having a tour of the city from somebody who was employed before the Oklahoma City bombings, kind of saw all the things through, and continually for the last 20 years has been an integral part of maintaining all the beauty in the memorials.
It's definitely a site, one of those sites that you never would expect yourself to go to, or it's just one of those, you just find yourself there and become encompassed by it. So I'm glad you had the experience to get there and at least, you know, kind of rationalize that and put a good spin on what it means now.
Yeah, definitely.
But you were saying something about flowers.
Yeah, the eastern redbud flowers very, very beautifully in the spring.
And then there's something else. What about those rocks?
Oh, you're speaking of the Cherokee Rose Rock. That is found only in Oklahoma. It is, if you go ahead and Google it, pull out your little smartphones that I know all you kids have these days.
Crazy kids with their Pokemon and the Pikachus.
Oh, yeah. So the Rose Rocks were formed. Oklahoma was at one point covered by ocean millions of years ago. And when the ocean retreated, it left, I believe it was sodium boron or something like that. Some kind of wacky chemical name. And that was exposed, and over millions of years produced the rose-shaped rock that Oklahoma has been, or is known for. And the legend, the reason it's called the Cherokee Rose, was during the Trail of Tears. The tears from the Native Americans as they walked through the desert, their tears turned into roses, is how the legend goes. I bought a postcard. I don't have the nice way that they put it, but
oxidization.
Yeah, it's something to do with oxidization. I think everything has to do with...
I just threw a term out there.
Is that to do with rust?
Yeah, actually.
I think it's rust. You either get oxygen or you lose oxygen. I don't know.
Something. But those rocks are really cool. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the picture for this episode.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to get to see a little bit of a rose rock.
Check out the rose rock coming out the rock block talk chamber.
Oh, somebody put some powder in my jock.
And we'll be back.
Oh.
Anti-disestablishmentarianism. Anti-disestablishmentarianism. clamp down with your iron fist. Drugs begin conveniently available for all the kids. Following the rights movement to clamp down with your iron fist. Drugs begin conveniently available for all the kids. My crack, my smack, my bitch right here in Hollywood.
Yeah. Let's just do the next segment.
Okay.
And we're back! Anti-disestablishmentarian nightly, the weekly half-hour show with Ben Boquist, and I am Ben Boquist, and this week we have a special guest, and his name is... Bill. Whoa, I'm gonna beep out your last name so nobody searches you on the interwebs.
They're gonna be all like, "Como te pas?"
Pawnee, motherfucker.
Crazy Ira, clean your room.
Shit, well, what do you want to talk about this segment, Bill?
Well, I heard that there's going to be a hayride in town. Hey, ride me! Why don't we go ahead and go check that corn maze out? So I can remix. But seriously, let's find a corn maze so I can go run backwards through that son of a gun.
Great American pastime.
So, Olympics.
What about the Olympics? Have you been watching those
I
mofts?
have had nothing but time on my hands since I've been home, and I have watched a lot of Olympics.
Table tennis?
Like, everything.
Yeah. I've seen, like, the primetime stuff. I get home, and I'll turn it on. I love the Olympics. It's just, you know, the epitome of sports.
I dig deep. I've been watching equestrian. I got table tennis, singles, doubles.
Handball,
field hockey, water polo. What else we got here? Some lifting, some track and field, some synchronized diving, I haven't seen any regular diving. It's all been synchronized, but I'm sure they're doing it.
Mm-hmm. I saw one guy, there's, the awesome, Aussie Man reviews.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Have you seen that? There's this hilarious one where, it's just him going over like the worst dive from the Chinese team, I think. And I don't know. I'll post it on the Anti-D Facebook and allude to it, but it's just hilarious. The guy tries to do a triple backflip and he gets like 2.5 rotations in and just does a backflop.
Well, I'll tell you who you can't do that to, and that is the USA women's gymnastics team.
Oh,
I mean,
my
if you haven't heard about them, then you've been living under a balance beam.
With blinders on.
You got that one right there, Betty boy.
No peripherals, no forward vision. Seriously, though, that, what's her name? Simone Biles?
Simone Biles.
Yes, she is like...
Five Olympic medals, 4 gold. Just straight wrecking it.
She's the phenom.
I mean, she's really, America's sweetheart, if you will.
I saw she met her celebrity crush. It was Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
Yeah. So she was giddy about that.
Don't even get me started about Zachy F.
That's you, man. You get called out for being Zac Efron.
I usually corrected people and would go fat Zac Efron, if anything. But look at his eyes sometimes, and then look at your friend Bill every now and again, because the eyes don't lies.
They really suck you in.
Oh, God, seriously.
It's funny to see that, though. Like, someone who could, be so into their Olympic goals and serious and all that, but then, like, you step back, it's still a 16-year-old girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we go back to talk about Zac Efron? Because I feel like we stopped a little prematurely.
He needs some more exposure, that Zac Efron.
I seriously fucking love Zac Efron.
I don't know what he's done besides those
High School Musicals. Yeah. What else do you need, man?
I guess that's a hell of a resume.
Shit. Okay, so now I can get off this man crush. The big news coming out of Rio de Janeiro is Ryan Lochte seems to getting himself into a bit of a predicament. It sounds like
he's been intradicted into the U.S.
Well, and first off, let's start this off by saying it was really his only way to get headline news. He's got middle child syndrome or the Jan Brady syndrome. It's all Ryan or Phelpsy. He just can't get any love despite being a 12-time Olympic medalist.
Mm-hmm.
Who gives a fucking shit? All right, go ahead, dye your hair. Jan Brady. All right, nobody cares.
You're not Leonidas of Rhodes.
We're all still trying to get with Marcia. All right, nobody cares about you, Jan.
Yeah, for me, what I thought it was is just well, I guess you don't know the story. If you don't, it came out about a couple days ago that there was just a robbing. Lochte said
they claimed him and 3 other swimmers claimed that they were held up at gunpoint and robbed.
And I remember seeing a tweet. It was like a screenshot, and it was I think the U.S. Olympic Commission said Ryan Lochte robbed at gunpoint, and then the International Olympic Commission a minute later,
they were denying it,
refuted it
right away. Yeah, and recently there's been footage released from some sort of gas station that their car broke down in, and the 3 swimmers that are remaining in Rio, because Lochte, he flew the coop. He's back in
before the games are even over.
Yeah, well, if that's not admitting guilt, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
because from what I hear, that Olympic Village gets crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
I'm gonna add so much. Pew, 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 pew.
Why add it? Let's just do our own.
Good point. But
more ass than the models.
I don't know what that's alluded.
It's that rapper, whoever does that low
is the
stuff. No, it's in that Kanye song.
More ass than the model.
Yeah, exactly. That's the guy I want to be.
Just the hype guy.
Fuck forestry, man. All right, I just want to talk in a low voice on stage.
Yeah.
You hear that? Dead air.
It's staying.
And it smells awful.
What I took away from the Lochte thing, though, was...
Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Who knows? Maybe they were doing something that was less than kosher, probably.
Yeah, if Lochte was born 20 years earlier, 20 years later, he'd be a star. As of now, who gives a shit? we got Phelps, all right. Doesn't matter. I don't, and whether you're a swimming fan or not, if you're not, then you really don't care about Lochte.
Yeah.
So, and again, this is once every 4 years we act like we give a shit about these people.
Yeah, that's what they were saying about swimming. Like, put swimming back in the fucking cupboard after 4 years.
No one cares.
Yeah, unless you're entrenched in the world of swimming.
Unless you're in the YMCA and you're trying to pass your guppy course so that you can get on to be a minnow, so that all the other kids stop making fun of you for not being able to swim worth a fucking shit. I don't think we really need to be talking about it.
Personal. This happened.
Oh, man.
Don't forget your floaties, Bill.
I did.
He's crying.
I always did.
Drove him to tears.
So, when we're not talking about some 12-time Olympic medalist loser who, nobody really cares about. By the way, I really don't feel that way about Ryan Lochte. He's a champion. But half the world doesn't even swim. So, who cares?
Yeah. It's bad timing on his,
Speaking of people not caring about swimming, Usain Bolt. I mean, my God. Fastest man in the world. 3-time Olympic gold medalist in the 100-meter dash. First person to ever do that 3 times in a row. And that's a sport where you don't need any fancy goggles or swimming caps. You don't even need shoes. Fastest runner is the fastest runner in the world.
Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about the Leonidas of Rhodes?
I don't. Other than the fact that he had 13 individual medals and now Phelps does 2 or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know about... Can we get some callers?
No. But if you listen to my last episode, I went over Leonidas of Rhodes a little bit. The dude did 4 straight Olympics where he won every, I guess, main running event. So do you think, did Usain say he's hanging up the shoes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure he's not going to take another run at it. God damn.
Woo!
But as far as I know, both he and Phelps and Jan Brady are probably done forever.
Well, Phelps said he was done last time.
Yeah, but he's probably made
I think
a
he's
good chunk of change on his endorsements. That's the only reason I think he came back.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he just had a kid, so that plus maybe getting that record.
Swimming lessons aren't cheap.
Well, he would be giving the swimming lessons, right?
I guess.
Right. What else is going on with the Olympics?
Well, let's see. Women's 100-meter hurdles swept. So
I saw that.
Gold, silver, and bronze. So we're talking, all the Brady sisters. We got Marcia, Jan, and Cindy, all up on the medal stand. Team USA hurdles.
That's the first time that ever happened, right?
Yeah, first time ever. Anywhere.
Awesome.
Ever.
That's sick.
Even, thousands of years ago when people were parkouring just for fun. Nobody won. You lived.
You just lived. Oh, what else are we going to talk about? There was something.
Well, I was promised that there would be some kind of talking low competition.
Dude, how low can you go?
I'll get you next time, Gadget.
That's
next
good.
Next time.
Doodle-doodle-doo, Inspector Gadget. Doodle-doodle-doo. So for those of you who don't know or don't watch the show Parks and Recreation, a lot of this, and I'll say a lot of this, is inspired by Crazy Ira and the douche.
The douche. I'm going to grab some clips of that for sure. There was something else I wanted to talk about. What was it? Last week on my show, I had something that reminded me of you, kind of. It was, a clip. I don't know if you ever saw this online. It was a clip of a lady who was, black, and her sister-in-law was half white, half black, and they were in a line at a grocery store, and the half white sister went through and got treated really nicely by the checker, and then, she went through and had to go through all this bullshit and grabbing the ID out and this and that. And, basically, what the sister did was step up to the cashier and be like, hey, come on, what are you doing here? And that reminded me of this one story you told me about how you were at Subway.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
I do remember.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and recount?
Well, other than me just being a super great guy, I don't know where you're going with this story, but I'll go ahead. There was a time at Subway, was getting a sandwich in line, getting it made, and there was a woman in front of me who was very frustrated with the new employee who was being trained and shadowed while making her sandwich, and upset that she had to keep repeating herself. She muttered under her breath, speak English. And I called her out right there on the spot in a very stern voice, asked her, what did you just say? And then she cowered in fear. Oh, no, nothing. To which I replied, yeah, that's what I thought.
Social justice, Bill.
I've been trained before, and it sucks. Nobody likes going through training. You don't know what you're doing. And to have somebody else. Hey, I wanted to ask that lady, how many languages do you speak?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? How many fucking languages do you speak?
You gent.
Yeah.
This is my, Clint Eastwood voice. It's kind of creepy. Yeah. Gran Torino.
Where is he?
Spent a lot of time over the years practicing my Batman voice.
It's good. It's good. Better than Jared Leto.
If I get the Joker, can you get him to talk?
Whoa!
I know, right?
It's damn good.
I know.
Well, this has been another edition of Anti-Disestablishmentarianism Nightly with Bill Hanchy. Now take us out!